to you. So in today's class, today is the introduction to ERP and SAP. What is ERP? What is SAP? And in that, what is SAP FICO? And if you learn SAP FICO, what are the job opportunities you have? So all these things we will discuss in today's class. This is just like an introduction class. And I hope everybody is able to see my screen. See, SAP stands for Systems, Applications, and Products in Data Processing. This is the amplification for the word SAP. Then, this SAP is called an ERP package. This is an ERP package or ERP software. Before going to understand what is SAP, first you have to understand the concept of ERP, because SAP is a part of ERP. ERP means Enterprise Resources Planning. Enterprise Resources Planning. Enterprise means every business organization is called enterprise. Then resources. Every business organization, while doing the business, they use some resources like number 1, men, number 2, materials, number 3, machines, number 4, money. So these are also called simply 4 M's, because every resource name starts with M. That's why they're also called 4 M's. And these are also natural resources. And remember, the supply of these natural resources are very much limited. Now, you take any business enterprise. What is the main objective? The main objective is to earn the maximum profits. It is not just earning the profits, earning maximum profits. For that purpose, every business enterprise will have only 2 alternatives. Number 1, in order to increase the profits, we have to increase the sales. To increase the sales, obviously, we have to increase production. Again, to increase the production, we have to increase the utilization of these 4 resources. But these are not plentifully available. As a result, there is the limitation to the organization's capacity to go on increasing the profits beyond a certain point. Then what is the second alternative? You take any business enterprise, whether large or small, whatever it is, right? You take any enterprise, whether large or small, they will have some amount of resources. They will have some amount of resources. So in order to maximize the profits, right, they have to use them, the available resources, in the most effective and efficient manner. In order to maximize the profits, every enterprise has to use the available resources in the most effective and the most efficient manner. In this particular context, the concept of planning will come into existence. The concept of planning will come into picture. So enterprise resource of planning means planning for the effective utilization of available resources of the company to maximize the profits. That is simply enterprise resources planning. Planning for the effective utilization of available resources of the enterprise to maximize the profits. That is simply the concept of ERP. That means the ERP covers all the techniques and the concepts for the best utilization of the resources of the enterprise to maximize the profits. Then ERP is based on the integrated management of all the departments in the enterprise. So what is this integrated management of the departments in the organization? Means we have to establish the links among the departments in the software terms. That is called integrated management. So with the help of ERP, how this integration is achieved? Let us try to understand. Now, first we have to understand how the ERP helps the business enterprise to maximize the profits. Before that, we should understand what are the problems faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Suppose as a company, if you don't use any ERP, what are the problems you face? First, we have to understand them. You take any organization, right? We have number of departments: finance and accounts department, marketing department, sales department, production planning and control department, production department, HR department, and purchase department. In addition to this, again, you have number of other departments. Now, every department has to work towards the achievement of organizational objective, that is maximization of the profits. So in this process, every department will have their own goals and objectives. The departmental objectives should be synchronized with the organizational objective, that is maximization the profits. In this process, what happens? If you take finance and accounts department, its main objective is to earn maximum rate of return on the investment. Here, investment means shareholders' investment. That means to earn the maximum rate of return on the investment means the finance department wants to increase the profits always. So for the purpose of maximizing the profits, this finance department wants to reduce the expenditure wherever it is possible. So by reducing the expenditure, we can increase the profits. No? So the finance department always wants to reduce the expenditure wherever it is possible. Then you take marketing department. Its main departmental objective is to create the market for the organization's products so that the demand is increased, sales is increased, and profits are increased. So in order to increase the demand for the organization's products, this marketing department always tries to conduct some advertisement activities and some sales promotion activities, which involves spending of funds. So if you notice, if you observe, both the finance department and marketing department, both the departments are trying to maximize the profits, but the way in which they are trying is different. Means the finance and accounts department is trying to maximize the profits by reducing the expenditure. At the same time, the marketing department is also trying to maximize the profits, but by incurring some additional expenditure in the form of advertisement activities. Means both the departments are pulling the organization in the opposite direction. It gives rise to conflict between finance department and marketing department. So on one hand, finance department tries to reduce expenditure. On the other hand, marketing department is trying to incur some additional expenditure. So it leads to dispute or conflict between finance department and marketing department. Now you take production planning and control department. Normally, this production planning and control department wants to maintain minimum stock of the materials as far as possible. Here, materials include raw materials, work in progress, finished goods, then stores and spares, packing materials, etc., etc. So why this department wants to maintain minimum stock of the materials? To reduce the carrying cost. Carrying cost means if you have to maintain the inventories of the materials, some working capital is locked, right? So obviously, we always borrow the working capital from the banks. On the working capital borrowed, we have to pay interest. So interest is the one aspect of carrying cost. Then we have to pay for the salaries and wages of the people working in the warehouse. And also we have to pay the rent of the warehouse premises. So all these expenses coming together is called carrying cost. So in order to minimize the carrying cost, this production planning and control department wants to maintain minimum stock of the materials. But at the same time, the production department wants to have optimum stock of the materials so that their production is not disturbed due to want of materials. That means, again, there exists the conflict between production planning department and production department. Production planning department and production department. So like that, in the real-time organizations, there exist number of conflicts among the departments. So the top management has to see that every department works properly. That means the top management has to see that there is proper coordination among all these departments. That means the top management has to spend a lot of its time on bringing the coordination among all these departments. As a result, the top management does not have the sufficient time to spend on performance analysis and strategic decision-making process. Remember, the top management always has to spend its time on the performance analysis of the company, and also they have to spend their time on the strategic decision making. But because of the fact that they have to spend their time in bringing the coordination among these departments, they don't have the sufficient time to spend on performance analysis and the strategic decision making process. This is the biggest problem faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Now, let us try to understand one more problem. Here, in order to increase the profitability of the company, every department has to perform their daily functions with much effectiveness. You know, every department performs some functions daily, right? So, in order to perform their functions effectively, they need some information from other departments. They need some information from the other departments. That means every department is depending upon other departments for the information purpose. Say, for example, you take production planning and control department. Its main function is to prepare the production schedule. So what is the production schedule? Just chalking out a plan, when to start the production, in how much quantity the product is to be produced, by which date the production is to be completed. This is simply called production schedule. So in order to prepare this production schedule, this planning department requires some information from the sales department. That is the date of delivery required by the customer. Obviously, based on the date of delivery required by the customer only, we have to prepare the production schedule, right? That means the production planning and control department is depending upon the sales department for the information purpose. Now, you take purchase department. This purchase department always purchase the materials required in the production department. So the purchase department is depending upon the production department for the information of what are the materials to be purchased. So the purchase department is depending upon production department. Then you take accounts department. So this accounts department has to account for all the expenses and revenues which are taking place every day in every department. Like that, every department is depending upon other departments for the information purpose. In order to enable these departments to perform their functions effectively, we should ensure that there is the uninterrupted flow of information among these departments, which are not there in the real-time organizations. Here, you may think that every department is computerized. Yes, nowadays, every department is computerized. But that computerization is limited to the boundaries of that particular department. That means production planning department is using one software manufactured by X company. Purchase is using one software manufactured by Y company. Accounts is using one software manufactured by A company. Sales is using one software manufactured by Z company, and so on. Means every department, they use different softwares manufactured by different companies. That's why we cannot integrate the software of one department with the other departments. As a result, there is no the free flow of information among these departments. So every department has to wait for some time for getting the information from the other departments. It leads to time wastage. So in the business processes, right? If you waste the time, what happens? The length of the production cycle is increased. So what is production cycle? The time taken from the point of procurement of materials till you realize the finished goods into cash resources. That is called production cycle. So always, the working capital requirements are depending upon the length of the production cycle. So if the production cycle length is more, we require more working capital. If you use more working capital in the business, you have to pay more interest to the bank. If you pay more interest to the bank, how can you maximize the profits? That is another problem faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. Now, let us take one more example. Today, you take purchase department. Today, purchase department has purchased materials from vendor, from a supplier. So the purchase department the purchase department receives the material along with the purchase invoice, right? Then that purchase invoice is entered once in the purchase department in the terms of quantities. Then the same purchase invoice is again sent to accounts department. Again, the same purchase invoice is sent to the accounts department, wherein the same purchase invoice, please remember, wherein the same purchase invoice is recorded again in terms of values. We post the accounting entries in the books of accounts, right? That means one purchase invoice is entered 2 times. Once in the purchase department, again in the finance and accounts department. Here, we are paying the salaries to the people in the purchase department and also the people in the accounts department. But both the persons are performing the same work, entering the purchase invoice. In that case, you are wasting your money resources. This is called duplication of work. So because of duplication of work, right, we are wasting our money resources, which is very, very important thing for any business organization. So if you waste money resources, how can you maximize the profits? Absolutely not. Now, finally, let us take one more example. The effectiveness of any organization depends upon the quality of the decisions taken by the top management. So in order to enable this top management to take the qualitative decisions, they should be provided with the right information in right time. So for example, we have manager finance. For a particular decision-making purpose, he wants to know what is the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today. In that case, the purchase department will give one figure and the finance and accounts department will give another figure, because the purchase department is in Chennai and the accounts department is in Hyderabad. So the purchase department in Chennai cannot send immediately the purchase invoice issued by them every day. The purchase department will bundle together some invoices, and these invoices are sent to the accounts department in Hyderabad once in 3 days, once in a week, and so on. As a result, there is the difference of information. There is the difference of information given by the purchase department and also the accounts department. This is called mismatching of information. That means the manager finance is not provided with the right information in right time. In that case, he may not be able to take effective decisions. In that case, the profits of the enterprise may not be optimized. That's how these are the problems faced by the companies in the non-ERP environment. So in this particular context, the concept of ERP has been developed. Actually, right, the concept of ERP is the result of information technological developments. As I said, every ERP is based on the integrated management of all the departments in the organization. So how this integration is achieved? Let us discuss. In the case of any ERP, right, we maintain common database or central database. This common database is also called central database. Okay, we are maintaining the common database, right? And this common database or central database is given access to every department subject to some restrictions. Regarding the data access, we maintain the restrictions. Why we have to maintain the restrictions? Here, we have to provide the information to every department to the extent it is required. At the same time, we have to ensure the security of the data of the other departments. That's why we maintain the restrictions regarding the data access. One more thing is, once you start moving up in the organizational hierarchy, the extent of access given is also increased. Okay, we are maintaining a common database, and this is given access to every department in the organization. Now, let us see how the previously discussed disadvantages are going to be eliminated. If you take production planning and control department, it requires the information, that is the date of delivery required by the customer, which is available in the sales department. So how that information is readily made available? See, whenever the salesperson gets the order from a customer, right, the salesperson will prepare one document which is called sales order, SO. That sales order contains information like customer name, his address, right, and his contact number, the product for which is giving the order, quantity, the price per unit, and the date of delivery required by him, and also the date of delivery required by him. So all that information is contained in the sales order. Then that sales order is entered by the salesperson in the common database. Then the person who is responsible to prepare the production schedule in this planning department, he will just log on into common database. He will identify the sales order. From the sales order, he can find out the date of delivery required by the customer. Accordingly, he will prepare the schedule. So whenever he wants the information, the production planning clerk just log on into the common database. He will identify the sales order. From the sales order, he can find out the date of delivery required by the customer. And accordingly, he will prepare the schedule. Wherever may be your sales department, wherever may be your planning department, information required is immediately, and you can say instantly, information required is instantly provided. Now, whenever there is a requirement for any material in the production department, this production supervisor or the production clerk will prepare one document which is called material requisition, MR. This is called MR also, material requisition. So the material requisition contains the details of the materials required and the quantity required. So this material requisition is entered into common database by the production supervisor. Then here we have the warehouse department, right? So the warehouse clerk will just log on into common database. He will identify the material requisition. From the material requisition, he can find out the details of the materials required, and accordingly, he will issue the materials. This is the case in the warehouse when the material is available. Suppose if the material is not available, then what happens? The warehouse clerk will prepare one more document which is called purchase requisition, PR, purchase requisition. So the warehouse clerk will just enter the purchase requisition in the common database, and the purchase clerk will log on into common database. He will identify the purchase requisition. From the purchase requisition, he can identify the details of the materials required to be purchased, and the purchase clerk will start procurement activities. That's how the information required by every department is readily made available. As a result, time wastage is eliminated. Then length of the production cycle is reduced. Then working capital requirements are also reduced. To that extent, the burden of interest on the profits is also reduced, and to that extent, profits are maximized. Clear, no? Now, let us see how the duplication of work is eliminated. In the case of any ERP, whenever the purchase clerk enters the purchase invoice in the common database, it will automatically update the account balances of raw materials and account balance of suppliers in the finance and accounts department automatically. I'm going to show you this effect practically in our classes. Whenever the purchase invoice is entered in the purchase department, the system automatically posts accounting entries in the books of accounts. So it is enough to enter the purchase invoice only once. Then it will have the impact in all the relevant areas. So duplication of work is eliminated. As a result, we can use the available human resources in the most effective manner so that profits are maximized. Now, you take the information requirement of finance manager. He wants to know what is the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today, right? In that case, he need not ask anybody in the organization. Being one of the top level employees, right? He can just log on into common database and he can find out the total amount of purchases that have been made as on today. Because with every purchase invoice posted into common database, The ERP system automatically updates all the relevant data like total amount of purchases, account balance of respective materials, then account balance of respective vendors. So all the relevant information is automatically updated by the ERP system. So by just logging into common database, you can find out the total amount of purchases that have been made as of now. Means he is provided with the right information in right time so that he can take effective decisions, and to that effect, the profits of the enterprise maximize the profits. Sorry, the profits of the enterprise are maximized. This is how the ERP concept helps the business organization like anything. That's why nowadays, starting from mid-level enterprises to multinationals, they are using some kind of ERPs. So this is the concept of ERP, and this is how the ERP concept helps the business enterprises to maximize the profits. Let us summarize. Let us summarize all this discussion. How the ERP helps. These are the features of the ERPs, you can say, and the advantages of the ERPs also, you can say. All the data is available in the central database, that is common database. Then it eliminates data redundancy, data duplication is eliminated. How? I have already explained you. Then the data is updated and available in real time. The data is updated and available in real time. Then one point entry of data. It is enough to enter the data in one department of the organization. Then it will have the impact in all the relevant departments. For example, as I said, when the purchase invoice is entered in the purchase department, it is updating the account balance of vendors and inventory balance of materials in the accounts department. That is the meaning of one point of entry of data. Then best business practices inbuilt. Every ERP has been developed by those companies after carrying on a lot of research on the business practice of many industries. Whatever the business practices that are thought as best by them, right? These companies incorporate these business practices in their ERP products. So when you start using those ERPs, right, you can also implement those business practices in your organization, and to that effect, you can also get the benefit. This is another very, very important advantages of ERPs. Then modular system. Modular system means components. In order to manage every department, we have the separate module or separate component. For example, to manage your finance department, right, we have one component, one software. To manage purchase department, a separate software. To manage HR department, a separate component. To manage production, separate component. To manage sales, separate component. Like that, to manage every department in the organization, we have a separate component within the same ERP. That is called modular system. Then can implement only required functions. Functions means what? Departments of the organization are called functions. Means it's not necessary. It is one more advantage. It is not necessary to implement the ERP in all the departments together. What are the departments in which you want to implement the ERP? You can do that. For example, I want to implement this ERP in finance department, purchase department, and sales department this year. That's it. You can do that. Then others can be easily integrated later. This year, we have implemented ERP in the finance department, then purchase department and sales department. So after using this ERP for 2 years, right, the management has got a lot of benefits. And the management is very much satisfied with the benefits of this ERP. So from third year onwards, they want to use the same ERP in HR department, production department also. Yes, that can do. Whenever you implement this ERP in the additional departments, they can be easily integrated with the departments using already this software. Then managers can utilize their time in analysis and spend less time in the coordination of it. This is very, very important advantage of this ERP. Then it improves the customer satisfaction automatically. So this is the concept of ERP. SAP is an ERP product. I hope till now everything is clear to everybody, right? So if you have any questions, first you can raise your hands, right? Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and you can talk to me directly. You can unmute yourself and you can talk to me directly. Okay, I hope it's clear to everybody. So SAP is such a ERP product. Along with SAP, we have number of ERP products. For example, Oracle, BAN, PeopleSoft, Ramco, etc., Microsoft Dynamics, etc. You have the hundreds and hundreds of ERP products available in the market. But out of these hundreds of ERP products, these are the famous products. These are some of the famous products. If you take Oracle, it is specialized in the management of your finance and accounts department. If you take BAN, it is specialized in the management of your production department, right? And if you take PeopleSoft, it is specialized in the management of HR department. But if you take SAP, right, it provides the solutions for the effective management of every department in the organization. And the level of integration we can achieve among the departments is very high when compared to other ERP products. Again, I'm repeating. If you take SAP, it provides the effective solutions for the management of every department in the organization. Number two, the level of integration you can achieve with the help of this SAP is very high when compared to other ERP products in the market. Because of these two reasons, SAP is the world #1 ERP product. As on today, right? In the world, there are nearly, right, 400,000 companies are there. 400,000 companies or 4 lakh companies plus are there using SAP software. That's why we have a lot of employment opportunities only in case of SAP. As of now, internationally, this SAP is enjoying nearly 47% of international market share. And the remaining 53% is enjoyed by all other ERPs, hundreds of ERPs together, just to see the competition difference. So if you take the total IT sector as a whole in the world, SAP is the 4th largest company in the world. I'm talking about in terms of revenues, right? But if you take ERP sector only, it is the 1st largest company in the world. So let us go back. That is the meaning of SAP, right? Let us go to the first slide. Very interesting. See, SAP stands for, yeah, I will explain you. I will explain that point. I will come to you, right? At the end of the session, I will take all your doubts. Right? How the certification helps chartered accountants, cost accountants, and company secretaries also. All these things we will discuss. See, SAP stands for systems, applications, and products in data processing. What exactly is the meaning of this phrase, right? Data processing. What is data processing? Before that, what is data? Data, it is the collection of facts and figures. Simply saying, that is the data, that's it. For example, in the month of June 2022, your total production is 100,000 number of units or 1 lakh units. And your total workers are 100. This is called data. Now, the production manager, he wants to know whether the workers have performed well or not in the previous month. For that, right, this data will not give any clues to him. Total output is 100,000 units. Number of workers, 100. So what? Are you able to get any clue or conclusion with the help of this raw data? No. So what? No, nothing. Right? So just a minute. Yeah. So this raw data will not give any conclusion or clues to the manager to decide whether the workers have performed well or not. That's why we have to process the data. Data processing means executing the set of operations on the data elements. Executing a set of operations on the data elements is called data processing. Operations means it may include arithmetic operations, algebraic operations, or both, or rearrangement of data elements also. That is called data processing. Okay. Between these two data elements, I am performing a small division operation. I am dividing the total output with 100 workers. 1 lakh number of output divided by 100, 1,000 units per worker. This is called productivity or average production. So the refined form of data is the information. What is the information now? 100 units per worker is the information. Now, how this information is useful to the production manager to decide whether the workers have performed effectively or not in the previous month. For every performance indicators, there are standards, there are targets. So in the month of June, right, the standard output or the standard productivity is 1,300 units per worker. That is the standard. That should be produced on an average. But actually, every worker has produced 1,000 units only. So we perform ineffectively. What are the reasons? These reasons are analyzed by the management. We have performed ineffectively, right? What are the reasons? The reasons are analyzed by the management. During the analysis, the management found one reason that we have used inferior materials in the production process. Obviously, if you use the inferior materials in the production process, there are frequent breakdowns in the plant and machinery processing, right? As a result, there are frequent breakdowns in the plant and machinery. So we have to reset up the plant and machinery. In that way, we have lost some time. That's why there was a fall in the actual production. If this is the reason for the fall in the production, the management has to take the disciplinary action, either against the people in the purchase department or against the people in the quality department. Okay, let us assume there is no problem regarding the materials quality. They are perfect in the quality. But another reason they identified is some of the skilled workers have left your company in the month of June. And the management has been noticing the same trend since 3 months or 4 or 5 months, let us say. Every month, some of the skilled workers are leaving your organization. Obviously, if the skilled workers leave the company, the production quality and production quantity will come down. If this is the reason for the fall in the production, the management has to rethink their employee policies. Why the people are leaving the organization? How to retain the people in the organization? Whether we have to improve the working conditions or whether we have to increase the fringe benefits, that is real wages. What I mean to say here is just one piece of information, which is the result of data processing, is giving how many number of avenues to the management for the analysis of their performance. That is the power of information. Information is the result of data processing. So SAP stands for systems. Here, systems refers to hardware systems and also management information systems. Then applications. Applications means some softwares and products. So SAP stands for some hardware systems and management information systems, some softwares and some other products, which helps the business organizations in their data processing needs to arrive the meaningful information which is necessary for them for the performance analysis and strategic decision making. That is the real meaning of SAP. Again, I'm repeating. SAP stands for some hardware systems, management information systems, some softwares, and some other products which help the business organization in their data processing needs to arrive meaningful information which is very useful to them for the performance analysis and strategic decision making process. That is the real meaning of SAP. So this SAP software or this SAP ERP was developed by a company which is called SAP.AG. This is the name of the company, right, which has developed this SAP software. It is a German company. It's a German company, right? And it was established in 1972. And its headquarters are at Waldorf, Germany, right? So this SAP AG also is having one legal entity in Bangalore with the name SAP Labs India. SAP Labs India, right? That is the another legal entity of SAP AG group from Germany. So this was established in 1972, right? Then let us see the evolution of the product. In 1972, this SAP company has developed a product known as SAP R1 Suite. Then in 1980s, it has developed a product known as SAP R2 Suite. In 1990s, it has developed a product known as SAP R3 Suite, right? Nowadays, we are using this SAP R3 Suite, right? And the present version of the software is ECC 6.0, right? EHP 8. ECC means ERP Central Component, right? So EHP means Enhancement Package. So ECC 6.0, EHP 8 we are using nowadays, right? We are going to provide the training on this version only. Right? Then so we are using this SAP R3 Suite only nowadays. So what is this SAP R3 Suite? You know the meaning of SAP now, right? Then suite means combination of some objects. The dictionary meaning of suite is combination of some objects. So this SAP software contains different modules which are used to manage different departments of the organization. That's why that is called suite. Then coming to R3, it is very, very important, right? R means real-time data processing. Real-time data processing means whenever you perform an operation on the data elements, the related database is instantly updated. Again, I'm repeating. Real-time data processing means whenever you perform an operation on the data elements, the related database is instantly updated. Let us take an example. When you draw money from the bank ATM, you are getting back your updated statement immediately. Say, for example, if you draw 10,000 rupees from the bank ATM, within the time you count 10,000 rupees, the system is giving back the ATM machine is giving back your account statement immediately. Balance, updated balance. How? It's working on the principles of real-time data processing. Not only ATM machines, your railway reservation systems, flight reservation systems, and every apps you are using in your daily life, they're all based on real-time data processing concept only. This is the concept in the information technology, which has changed the life of the human beings like anything. So SAP also, of course, not only SAP, every other ERP also. ERP means they have to use this real-time data processing concept only. SAP also uses the same real-time data processing concept. That's why when the purchase clerk enters the purchase invoice in the purchase department, it is updating the account balance of raw materials and vendors. That is the impact of real-time data processing concept. That's why SAP also uses the word in the name of its product. SAP uses the letter R in the name of its product. 3. 3 means 3-tier architecture, 3 levels of architecture. Actually, it refers to the hardware setup you require. Right? It refers to the hardware setup you require. Just a minute. So it requires the physical hardware setup you require to use this SAP software. Here, not only SAP, every ERP, they use client-to-server technology. Compulsory, it's mandatory. Every ERP, right, they use client-server technology. Client-to-server technology means there are some servers and there are some client systems. So what is server system and what is client system? What is server system and what is client system? For that, you have to understand the client and server from 2 perspectives. One is hardware perspective. The other one is software perspective. From the hardware perspective, client system and server system, both are computer systems only. But server systems are with large storage capacity and client systems are with small storage capacity. From the software perspective, what is client? See, the main function of the client system is to generate some request, and the request is sent to the client system regarding some analysis. That is the main job of the client system. And what is client system? It's a computer system. Computer means it is an electronic and mechanical device. It doesn't have the brain like us how to send this request. So we give some instructions to the client system on how to generate the request, how to send the request to the server system. Means you write some set of instructions. Set of instructions is called what? A program. A set of programs is software. So client is a software. Then coming to server system. First of all, server system is also a physical computer. It stores the data. Now, as a server system, it receives the request from the client system. Based on the request received from the client system, it has to pick the data from the database. Based on the instructions, it has to analyze the data. And the result is again to be stored in the database. And also it has to be sent to the client system. This is the function of the server system. And server system is also a computer system. It does not have the brain. It does not know how to perform all these activities. So we have to provide some instructions to the server system on how to receive the request, how to analyze the request, how to retrieve the data, how to process it. So for all these activities, we have to provide the instructions to the server system. Set of instructions is program. Set of programs is software. So client and server are the 2 softwares which are talking to each other. That's how you can understand. Client and servers are 2 programs which are talking to each other. So in the case of 3-tier architecture, we have the 3 types of servers. One is database server layer, database server or database server layer. Number 2, application server or application server layer. Number 3, client or presentation server layer or client or presentation server. So what is the database server? Database server is the computer system in which the database of the organization is kept or hosted or stored. So what does the database contains here? The business transactions incurred and entered every day in the day-to-day management of your business. So all the business transactions are stored in the database. Whenever you have the concept of database, there comes the question of database management. So who is responsible to manage the database? As a SAP professionals, we don't have anything to do with the database management. There are separate database managers or database administrators who will take care of this database management. And this database is managed on the principles of RDBMS. Yes. RDBMS means Relational Database Management Systems. So there are many RDBMS tools in the market available, like SQL Server, right? Then Informix. Like that, there are hundreds and hundreds of RDBMS tools. Oracle, right? DB2, Informix, SQL Server. Like that, there are number of RDBMS tools available in the market. So based on the IT budget of the companies, they can go for any of the RDBMS tools. But in most of the cases, till now, the companies have been using Oracle. Now, in 2015, SAP has developed its own database. Right? In 2015, SAP has developed its own database, which is called HANA, H-E-A-N-A, HANA database. Right? Nowadays, every company is using HANA database because of its effectiveness. So what is that HANA database? That is called S/4HANA. That also we will discuss. On that also we'll provide the training. The training includes that also. So that is the thing regarding database server. Then application server. Application APS1 means application server 1, application server 2, application server 3. This application server is again a computer system in which the SAP software is hosted. The SAP software contains the processing logic or programming code which is necessary to process your business transactions. Here we have to have some number of application servers. So why we have to have some number of application servers? Because if you have only one application server, every employee will be using the same server, then the load on the total server will be very high. Then your processing time is also increased. That's why we have to have some number of optimum number of servers, application servers. How many number of application servers we have to have? That is decided by the technical wing of the IT team. Then, so this is one layer, this is another layer. Then client systems. C1 means client 1, client 2, client 3. So client means the computer systems used by the employees to enter the business transactions, to process the business transactions, to generate the reports, to analyze the reports, and so on. They are called client systems. If you go to any bank, suppose we are maintaining accounts with your ICICI Bank, right? Now, today, you have gone to the ICICI Bank to deposit some money. You approach the cashier, right? Then you give the cash to the cashier. Cash is having one system with him, right? That system is called client system. So when you deposit the cash, right, the cashier will open your account in the database. He will enter the amount deposited by you. Then you press one button. Then your account balance is automatically updated in the bank servers. And some of you might have observed the servers in the bank branches itself. And all these servers are connected to central servers. So the systems with which the employees will work are called client systems. In the background, we have the servers. Here, this is one layer. This is another layer. And this is third layer. That's why this is called three-tier architecture. Right? So I have presented this in the more refined manner. These are the laptops or desktops used by the employees to enter the day-to-day business transactions. These are all client systems. And these client systems are connected to some number of application servers. And all the application servers are connected to the database server. And this database is maintained on the principles of RDBMS systems. This is the two-tier architecture. Two-tier architecture means, R2 means two-tier architecture. In the case of two-tier architecture, within the same server, you maintain the database and SAP application. Then clients are the computer system used by the employees. Nowadays, this two-tier architecture is totally outdated. In the real-time business organizations, we are not at all using this two-tier architecture. We are using only three-tier architecture. I will give you one best example, right, for the two-tier architecture, just for the knowledge purpose. That's it. You have joined the training, right? So you have to do the practice. You have to do hands-on every day. Every class in our training, every class is a practical class and also theoretical class. So every class we have to do practice in the server. Okay, the server is in Hyderabad. In that server, we have installed SAP ECC AHP8. Then that is the application, SAP application. Then we have installed Oracle database. So Oracle database is the database system, and SAP ECC 6.0 EHP7 is the application. So application and the database both are existing in the same server. Now all of you are from different parts of the world, right? There are students in this batch from UK, USA, right, Azerbaijan, etc., etc. So all of you, there are some people from Hyderabad, of course, India also there. So all of you will be given access to the server in Hyderabad. For that, you need to install a small program. That program I will send you. Then your laptop, through the laptop, right, you are able to access the server. So whenever you install SAP client program, your laptop becomes the client. So there are 50 students. In this batch, there will be nearly 50 students around, right? So all of you are situated different parts of the world. So all of you together is called client systems, right? Client 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 50. These are all client systems, right? In Hyderabad, we have the server, which includes Oracle database system and also SAP application. That is the real example for the two-tier architecture. So all your systems together is one layer, and the database and the SAP application in the Hyderabad server is one layer. That is the two-tier architecture. So nowadays, we are not using the two-tier architecture in the real-time organizations. But the training, compulsory, we have to go for two-tier architecture only because of the cost effectiveness. Clear, no? So we are using the product SAP R3 Suite. Now we are going into the, till now we have discussed some technical facts, right? Now, the product what we are using is another 20 minutes it will take. Please bear with me for today, right? Every day class is only for 1 hour. Don't worry. Today it's an introduction class, no? So it may take a little bit more time. Please bear with me for another 20 minutes. So the name of the product what we are using is SAP R3 modules. Sorry, SAP R3 product, right? In this SAP R3 product, there are two types of modules basically. Number one, functional modules. Number two, technical modules. So under the functional modules, we have the financial accounting and controlling, which is called FICO. Then we have the materials management, MM, sales and distribution, SD, human resources management, HR, quality management, QM, plant maintenance, PM, project systems, PS, production planning and control, PPC, real estate management, workflow, financial supply chain. Like that, we have the 24 plus modules on the functional side. Why they are called functional modules? Because each module is used to manage a department in the organization. Every department in the organization is called a function, right? Purchase function, finance function, sales function, production function. For each function, we set up one department. So each module is used to process the business transactions in each department. That's why they are called functional modules. And each functional module itself is a fully developed software. Each functional module itself is a fully developed software, and all these softwares are developed by same SAP company. As a result, one software can be integrated with another software. One module can be integrated with another module because they are manufactured by the same SAP company. That's why integration becomes easy. But in the case of non-ERP, Every department is computerized, but that computerization means each department using different software manufactured by different companies. That's why we could not integrate. But here, all these softwares are manufactured by same SAP company. As a result, they can be easily integrated with others. That is the advantage. That is the difference between ERP and a non-ERP. So all these are softwares, right? Within the same ERP product. Software means there should be a language in which all these softwares have been developed, right? That language is ABAP. ABAP is the own programming language of SAP company. ABAP is the own programming language of SAP company. So all these functional modules means all these softwares have been developed in ABAP language. ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application Programming Language. Then this is one technical module. Another one is Business Application Software Integrated Systems, BASIS. Just for your understanding purpose, you can assume that BASIS is the own operating system of SAP company. So this is another technical module. In order to use all these softwares, right, we have to install this BASIS operating system in the client servers. So this is one technical module and this is another technical module. Now, if you learn any functional modules, you get a job as functional consultant. If you learn any technical module, you will get a job as technical consultant. If you want to learn ABAP, you have to have the programming knowledge. Minimum to minimum C# or C++. If you want to learn BASIS, you should have the networking knowledge and operating systems knowledge. If you want to learn any of the functional modules, right? If you have the basic understanding of account, if you have the basic academic understanding of the respective subjects, and if you have the hands-on work experience in the respective departments, that's enough. You need not have any programming knowledge. You need not have any operating systems knowledge. Suppose if you want to learn FICO, right? If you have the basic understanding of accounting and cost accounting, that's enough. So in the functional modules, you never write even a single line of programming code. Okay, so if you learn any functional module, you get a job as functional consultant. More particularly, if you learn FICO, you will get a job as FICO consultant. If you learn MM consultant. If you learn SD consultant, PP consultant, HR consultant, PS consultant, and so on. So, as a consultant, as a FICO consultant, what we do? As a FICO consultant, what we do? See, as far as any ERP is concerned, there are two roles. As far as ERP is concerned, there are only two roles. Number one, end user role. Number two, consultant role. So, end user role and consultant role. End user means the employees of the company using the SAP software are called end users. For example, you take Sony company, Sony Limited India, right? Really, Sony Limited India is using SAP software. Not only Sony company India, right? The Sony group itself, international group itself, is using SAP software in all its legal entities. So you are working as an accountant in Sony Limited India. You are called end user. So as an accountant, what is your end user role? As an accountant, you have to enter the business transaction, the books of accounts every day, right? You have to generate the reports. You have to analyze the reports. Then based on the analysis, you have to prepare some more reports. And these reports, you have to submit to your finance manager. These reports you have to submit to finance manager. Just a minute, somebody joined. Just a minute. So you have to submit these reports to the manager finance. This is your end user role. And in your company, you are using SAP software. In order to enable this accountant to perform his activities daily, already some settings should have been done. Just a minute. So in order to enable the end user to perform all this daily job, already some settings should have been done in FI software. Unless you do the settings in FI software, right, the accountant of the accounts department cannot use the software. And these settings are done by consultant. So the main job of the consultant is to develop the configuration settings in the software to meet the requirements of the respective departments. So in our training, right, we cover both the consultant training and the end user training. So our module is FICO. So in FICO, first I will show you the settings, what are done by the consultant. Once we complete the settings in every module, right, we post some transactions. I will show you the reports, right? I will show you the output. That's how you follow. So here, our module is FICO, right? So what is there in FICO? Actually, FICO is the combination of two modules, very highly demanded module and a very highly paid module. So FI stands for financial accounting. Then CO stands for controlling, right? So in the financial accounting, the purpose of this financial accounting, as a FI consultant, we develop all the configuration settings which are necessary to prepare the P&L account, balance sheet, funds flow statement, and cash flow statements according to the legal requirements of the country in which you are doing business. For example, Tata Steels Limited. Tata Steels Limited is again using SAP software. All the big brands, right? All the big giant companies in the world, they use SAP. So Tata Steels Limited, right, is using SAP software. Then the FI consultant, right, has to develop the configuration settings in FI software so that they can prepare the financial statements according to the legal requirements of the country. I mean, according to the legal requirements of Indian Companies Act 2013. So that is the job of the FI consultant, right? For that purpose, we have the sub-modules in financial accounting. See, financial accounting, FI. This is used to prepare the financial statements according to the legal provisions of the respective countries. These are called legal financial statements, and it is called external reporting tool. So after preparing the financial statements, right, we submit these financial statements to many external legal agencies like company register, income tax departments, GST departments, right? Then banks and stock exchange board, etc., etc. Right? So these are all external to our company. That's why these are called external reporting tool. So in the financial accounting, we have the sub-modules. Number one, general ledger accounting, which includes new GL also. Number two, accounts payable, which is used to manage your supplier accounts or creditors. Accounts receivables to manage your customer accounts. Asset accounting to manage your fixed assets. And within this each of those sub-module, there are a number of topics. It is not right time to discuss all those topics here. So after FI, at the end of FI, I will show you the preparation of financial statements. From the day one itself is a project, right? I will take you through the total accounting process logically in SAP. Then at the end of FI, I will show you the clear-cut balance sheet and P&L account, profit and loss account. So from the day one itself is the project only we are doing. Then once we complete FI, we start controlling. And before that, see, what is the level of accounting knowledge you have to have? See, very simple understanding of finance accounting is necessary. You need not be a master in accounting. I'm not talking about qualification wise, right? Knowledge wise, I'm saying. You need not have the master knowledge in accounting. If you know how to post accounting entries, that is enough. Everything else is automatically taken care by the system just by pressing on button. That's it. So how to post accounting entries? You know, there are three types of accounts: personal accounts, real accounts, and nominal accounts. So what is to be debited and credited according to personal accounts, real accounts, and nominal accounts, that itself is enough. And also, there are some non-accounting people also will be there in every batch. So for the non-accounting people, I have prepared some material. So I will send that material, and with the help of that material, you can gain the understanding of the accounting within 3-4 days. And for others also, I will send the same material. Don't worry, you can also refresh your accounting knowledge. So what I mean to say here is, if you have the basic understanding of accounting, right, that's enough to understand financial accounting component. Then controlling. Controlling is nothing but your cost accounting. So the main purpose of this controlling component is to provide the information for the middle level management and top level management necessary for them for the performance analysis and strategic decision making process. That's why this controlling component is also called internal reporting tool. Internal reporting tool. Now, what is the level of cost accounting knowledge you have to have? Here also basic understanding is enough. What is basic understanding of cost accounting? You know, the cost of any product contains three components: material cost, labor cost, and other expenses. Material cost is divided into direct material cost, indirect material cost. Labor cost is divided into direct labor cost, indirect labor cost. Other expenses are divided into direct expenses and indirect expenses. What is the meaning of direct material, indirect material, direct labor, indirect labor, direct expenses, and indirect expenses? If you know these things, that itself is enough. But normally what we do is, we don't study about cost accounting much unless you are a chartered accountant and cost accountant. Even if you're an MBA or MCOM, right, you have only one subject for the cost accounting. That too, normally we don't pay that much attention to the cost accounting. So it's quite common that you might have forgotten cost accounting principles. That's why after completion of F5, before starting controlling, I take 3-4 classes on the cost accounting principles. I take 3-4 classes from the academic cost accounting principles. With the help of that classes, you can gain the understanding of cost accounting, which is necessary for you to understand controlling module. Right? So again, in the controlling module, we have the different sub-modules. Cost element accounting. Number 2, cost center accounting. Number 3, internal order accounting. Number 4, profitability analysis. Number 5, profit center accounting. Number 6, product costing. So all these 6 sub-modules we are going to cover very extensively. In every sub-module, there are a number of topics, and it is not the right time to discuss all these things. You don't understand anything. Then once we complete controlling, right? And one more thing, what are the topics we are covering in each of the modules? I sent you one introduction mail, right? In that mail, I have given one link. If you click on that link, you'll be taken to my website, www.klakshmanaswamy.com. There you can see very lengthy content. So all that content we are going to cover. Once we complete controlling, right, then we also cover integration part. Integration of metals management with FI, financial accounting. At the beginning of the introduction class, I told you, when the purchase invoice is entered in the purchase department, it will post accounting entries in the books of accounts of finance department. For that, we need to do some common settings in the metals management module and also FI module. This is called integration of FI with MM. Similarly, we also cover integration of financial accounting with the sales and distribution module, right? And also we cover, it is not mentioned here, we also cover integration of PPC, production planning and control module with the CO module. That is not mentioned here, that also we are going to cover. Then after that, closing procedures. After preparation of financial statements at the end of the year, we have to perform some activities as a end users, right? Means we have to carry forward the current year balances to next year, current year GL account balances, vendor account balances, customer account balances, and asset accounting balances to next year. And also we have to perform number of activities in SAP. So all these things are also covered under the closing procedures. Then I will give you some tips on ABAP and basis. Importantly, tables. What are the tables, right? And how they are important in our real-time jobs, right? And also how they are important from the interviews. All these table concept also we will discuss. Then there is another concept, transportation. Not the transportation what you know. Transportation is different in SAP, right? That also we will discuss. So I will discuss all the topics, most of the topics which are necessary for you to get the job into SAP. So after this, right, what is the methodology of the training? Very, very important point from your perspective. Very, very important topic. What is the methodology of the training I follow? I will explain. You have seen just now, till now, you have seen how clearly I'm explaining. See, first I will explain the concept of every topic, right? Then I will explain you step-by-step configuration. Then I will explain you posting of transactions. I will show you the posting of transactions. After posting the transactions, I will show you how to generate the relevant reports. Then at the end of every class, we have the questions and answer session on the current topic, and also we can discuss the questions from the previous topics also. This is how we follow the methodology in the training. Then what is the type of the material I'm going to provide you? I will show you also how. I will provide the training material step-by-step configuration, then step-by-step transaction processing, step-by-step report generation, then interview and certification questions and answers. Means here, first, every concept I will explain with the help of the presentations. This is the FI material. See, first enterprise structure. First topic is enterprise structure, for example. So, what is enterprise structure? First, I will explain with the help of this presentation. So, what is this enterprise structure? As a part of it, what is company? What is company code? And what is business areas? So, first I will explain these concepts. Now, we have to create the settings in the system, right? We have to create the company. We have to create the company code. We have to create the business areas. Means, first, what is company code, and business areas? First, I will explain them. Then that explanation is given here. So, first of all, what is company, right? I will explain. Then that explanation is documented in the notes. Now, as a part of configuration settings, right, you have to create the company in the server, SAP server. So SAP server access is given to every one of you. What is that login? Everything I will explain in tomorrow's class. So as I said, every class is here. This is the SAP server I'm logging in. Right? So every class is a theoretical class, then practical class. So in order to create the company, we need to access one screen, right? Say, for example, path is there, right? SPRO. What is this path? All these things I will explain it tomorrow. I'm just showing you how do we follow. See, after SPRO, we have enterprise structure. This is called enterprise structure. After enterprise structure, we have definition. This is definition. Click on this. After definition, we have financial accounting. Then after financial accounting, define company. This is called define company. Then after define company, click on new entries, right? This is called new entries. Now, in order to create the company, right? In order to create the company, we have to provide some information in these fields. We have to provide some information in these fields, and all these fields are documented here. So against each field, you have to write little bit something, very little you have to write. So taking this as example, we have to create, you have to recreate the same settings, right, in your practice server, in your practice system. Then, for example, company code. What is company code? I will explain this, and it is documented here. Okay. Then, how to create company code? I have given the step here. Then, what is business area? First, I will explain, and then explanation is documented here. Right? So, how to create business areas in the system? Like that, this material is provided to you, and against is equal to marks, you have to write very little bit. Taking these as examples, you have to create the same settings in your system. So the FI material contains 227 pages, right? So here, this is the general ledger accounting. So what is the purpose of the general ledger accounting, right? How it is important? First, I will explain with the help of these slides, right? Then how to create ledger accounts. How to create ledger accounts. Then how to post the business transactions. Creation of wages account, rent account, right? Then how to display GL accounts created, right? After creating, how to edit GL masters. Then posting of transactions. So how to post the transactions. Once I will show you, once we post the transactions, right? How to display entries posted, right? And how to display balance the GL account. These are all end user requirements. So like that, in accounts payable, right? In accounts payable. So first we will see the configured settings. After configured settings, we will post purchase invoices. We will post full payments and part payments. How to treat TDS, how to process advances, right? So all the content we will see. Sorry. See, posting of purchase invoices. These are all end user transactions. Check vendor line items. Check vendor account balances. Posting of outgoing payments. Posting of outgoing payments. Just a minute. Then full payments and part payments. How to process part payments, right? Like that. After this, we have the account receivables. Account receivables, right? After that, we have asset accounting. We have the asset accounting, right? So once asset accounting is completed, settlement of assets under construction, right? So all the topics we cover. Then financial statement preparation. So once we complete financial statements, FI is completed. Then we have the controlling. So again, for controlling, we have the separate material, controlling material, right? So here also, I will explain the concept first with the help of the presentations, and the explanation is documented here, right? So cost element accounting. So we have the internal order accounting. So like that. Yes, we will send all these. That's what I'm saying, madam. All these documents will be sending to you. All this material will be sent to you, right? So the FI material 228 pages, CO material 176 pages. This 176 pages is only half of the controlling material. Again, you have more than 150 pages of controlling material, MM integration, SD integration, all these things. So totally, you'll be getting around 600 pages of material, along with the explanation notes, and also configured settings. So all this material will be sent to you. Okay. So at the end of the sessions, I will explain you how to prepare the resumes, right? Then I will send you some sample resumes. You can prepare the resumes on those lines. After preparation of your resumes, you can send your resume to me. I will go through the resume and I can tell you if any modifications are there. I will suggest the modification, right? And I will send you the interview questions also, right? Then I will guide you in the certification. If you want to write the certification, I will guide you on how to write the certification, right? See, somebody has asked one question, how this is useful, how the certification is useful for the chartered accountants and cost accountants, right? Not only for chartered accountants and cost accountants, whoever are doing commerce, right? For BCom, MCom, MBA, chartered accountants, cost accountants, and the company secretaries, right? This SAP FICO is very useful tool to enter into IT. Say, for example, you are a chartered accountant, right? So if you go for the job as a traditional accounts manager, right? Like a finance manager like that, your salary will be different. But if you enter as a FICO consultant with the chartered accountant and cost accountancy or company secretary's qualification, right? There is a difference of salaries 40%. As a traditional finance manager, you are getting 15 lakhs per year. But if you go as a SAP consultant with the chartered accountancy or company secretaries or cost accountancy, right? Your salary will be around 20 lakhs. And nowadays, right, there are campus recruitments in Chartered Accountant Institute and the Cost Accountant Institute, right? So those who are having the SAP FICO qualification, they are offered 20 lakhs minimum to minimum. And for the MBAs, MComs, right, the salary will be around 10 to 12 lakhs. And also it depends how you market yourself, right? So how to present yourself in the resumes, that matters a lot. Yeah, I will see, Divya, this demo is recorded. I will send you tomorrow morning. I will send you this recording, not only to you, to every student. Every session is recorded, and the recording will be sent to you after the session is completed. And also I will send you the materials. So this is how we proceed in the class, right? So if you want to enter into IT sector, SAP is only the way for the commerce students, right? So now, any questions from anybody? First, to raise your hands. I will be coming one by one. First, raise your hands. Afzal, you can unmute yourself and you can talk to me. Afzal, you have any questions?
Yes, sir. I have one question. So, sir, what is the version we are practicing on? It is R3. What about S4 HANA? There is a difference because
yeah. S4 HANA is different.
It affects us, yeah.
S4 HANA is different. We are going to
cover
S4 HANA
when we go into the market, yeah, because
that's what I'm saying, Afzal.
Okay.
S4 HANA is there in the market now.
Right.
Okay. But to learn S4 HANA, ECC is compulsory. SAP R3 ECC is compulsory. There are 20% to 25% changes between ECC and S4 HANA. In S4 HANA, most of the functions are very similar with the SAP ECC. But some new functionalities have been developed in S4 HANA. So to understand, first of all, you have to complete SAP ECC. So once we complete SAP ECC, right, we also have the classes on S4 HANA. Then only you can understand S4 HANA. Without ECC, you cannot directly understand and you cannot directly learn S4 HANA. It will be a total mess. Okay,
Right,
Abdul,
thank
we
you.
cover both SAP, ECC with S4 HANA. Okay.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And every day you use the, all of you please use the same link, right? Throughout the entire classes, the meeting link is same, right? And timing is evening 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Indian time. Okay, same time. Today I have taken more than 1.5 hours, right? But normally every day class is only 1 hour. Because this is the introduction, no, that's why it takes more time. Yeah, Wankade.
So yes, sir. My question is, could you please explain in short what is different between SAP and Microsoft 365 Dynamics?
No, because I don't know Microsoft Dynamics. Then how can I explain you?
Oh, no issue.
I'm SAP consultant, right? I don't know what is there in Microsoft Dynamics, but both are here.
Yes, because even I'm also going through that some little bit information.
But
both
from the job point of view, from the job point of view, right? SAP is always the best. It doesn't mean that I am working in SAP, so I'm saying SAP is the best, right? You have to look into from the market share.
Correct.
The more the companies are using, right, the more is the job opportunities for us.
Yes, because both are providing same ERP software. No? That's why I'm confused what exactly it is.
And remember, the level of integration in SAP is uncomparable with any other ERP product.
Yes, I got it. Yes, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, Bhairav, tell me.
Yes, sir. I have a question that I have completed my graduation in 2014 in BCom. So after that, I have joined TCS and working in TCS in utility domain. So I don't have very much knowledge of accounts, like means I forget lots of things in accounts.
Yeah.
So can I go with SAP FICO module?
Definitely, Bhairav. I will send you the, right? See, in every concept, I explain the accounting concepts also. Right? Okay. And also I will send you the accounting material also. It takes 3-4 days to go through that accounting material and to gain the basic understanding of accounting. That's enough for you to understand SAP FICO, right? No issues. It's not at all difficult.
Okay, and what is the duration of this course?
Course is 4 months, right?
Okay. Daily.
Server access is also provided for 5 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more thing I would like to know, sir, can you please tell me the configuration of the laptop? What is required to install?
Normal laptop is enough. Normal laptop which you are using for your daily use, that's enough. Normally, every laptop is now with 6 GB RAM, right? 1 TB hard disk, and i3 processor is enough. i3.
Right? Okay. Thank you.
Other than more than i3, that's enough. That's more than enough. So, any questions from anybody, please? You can use the same link every day, right? Same time. And I will send you this recording. This is recorded in different format. So I will convert this recorded format into normal WMU format. It takes a little bit time. Tomorrow morning itself, I will send you the recording to all of you. You can download the recording and again you can listen to it, right? So you can keep it permanently with you. You can keep these recordings in your hard disk. And whenever you require, you can listen to it even without internet. Okay, then I hope everybody has understood what is the concept of ERP, SAP, and all these things, right? Good night and good day. See you tomorrow, same time with the same link.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.